Hi guys! So today I'm doing the Q&A. I got my little notebook right here with the questions written on it. And yes, I film in the bathroom because I just feel safe in the bathroom, and it's basically the only door that locks in our house. And yeah. So on to the questions. How many turtles do you have? I have 5 right now. About 2 months ago, I had 6, but then one died. And over the years, I think I've had a total of 10. Not all at the same time, though. What do I do in my free time for fun? Well, I hang out with my boyfriend, or I watch YouTube videos, or make the videos. Or I crochet sometimes. Where do I see myself within the next 5 years? I'm honestly not really sure. I hope that's a good enough answer for that question, because I really don't have any clue right now. What type of music am I into? And what's my current favorite song? I like a lot of music, but I am really into metal and screamo and stuff like that. And my current favorite song is either Chasing Rainbows or Zombie by Bad Wolves. Chasing Rainbows is by Bring Me the Horizon. They're my favorite band. What pushed me over the edge to do YouTube finally? Well, whenever I made my first video on this new channel, I was going through a really difficult time because I was single at the time, and I just needed to vent, and I didn't really have anyone to vent to other than my therapist, because I used to always talk to my boyfriend about that, but we were apart for a little bit, so yeah. And also, I wanted to track the recovery, and I wanted to remind myself what it's like to be at a lower weight and to see what the differences are. And also to raise awareness, because I really want people to learn to understand things like eating disorders and mental illness. And I also want to show that people aren't alone, because I know what it was like to be alone and isolated, and you got no one to talk to because you feel like a burden. What support system have I had through the mental illness journey? Friends, family, myself. It's mainly been myself and my therapist and my boyfriend. at the very beginning of it in 8th grade, whenever I was very depressed and wanting to run away, and um and I couldn't sleep at night, and I was only getting like 6 hours of sleep every 36 hours or so. um it was mainly myself, and I used to listen to Dawson McAllister on the radio all the time because he helped with people's problems and it helped me feel not alone. Um, then, around the time that the eating disorder really, really, really got bad, I started seeing my therapist, and that was basically the only person I had. My parents didn't understand. My pastor didn't understand. Like, I had went through an emotionally abusive relationship, and no one wanted to hear about it. Okay. How would you say that Anna or the voice convinces you? Well, it's very sneaky. It really likes to remind me of the times whenever I was alone, and it's like, hey, I was the only one here for you. And remember, you liked being that thin. You liked fitting into size 0 pants. Oh, sorry, I said a number, but there we go. You liked that. Yeah. Eating isn't very good. Like, it can make you sick. Food is germy. Don't trust people who make you food. Don't trust restaurants. There's been a lot of outbreaks recently, even at your own restaurant that you work for. And their main thing is food you can trust because it doesn't have any artificial preservatives or sweeteners or anything like that. Yeah. So there's those things. It also reminds me of how I could numb emotion with it, but then I have to remind myself that it wasn't like that. Sure, I would feel like a zombie, but my head would be constantly going with thoughts. And I thought about death a whole lot more than I do now. And it was just not good. How do you keep yourself from a major relapse? Well, whenever I start to feel like I'm slipping back into old patterns, I will bring it up with my boyfriend and with my therapist, and I will just remind myself. I I wrote down on a page in my journal what it was truly like, the ED thoughts versus reality, and that has seemed to help me. Like, whenever the thought of, I was the only one there for you, why do you think that your boyfriend's going to stick around? Your therapist is old, she's gonna die soon. So soon enough, you'll be stuck with just me again. And then you'll be so sorry. You'll regret it so much for leaving me alone all this time. I'm gonna still try and keep up with you, but, you keep trying to shut me down. So, what you gonna do whenever other people decide they're sick of you because you're disgusting? I would write in the reality part, yes, people may leave me, and they may get sick of me, and they may think I look disgusting, but as long as I'm happy with myself, even if it's just a little bit, it's okay. People come and go. They've they've come and went in my past, and I've survived this long. I'm almost 19, and I went through a time where I didn't have anyone except myself. So I know I can survive and get through things by myself. It'll just be a little harder. As long as I keep making my body feel healthy, I can just focus on that instead of looking at the shape of my body. I also go through my YouTube watch list and remove any of the videos that may be triggering or may be very bad for me to watch. And sometimes I don't even recognize that they're bad for me to watch until I tell my boyfriend about it, and he's like, how about you just like stay away from that? Because I don't want you to get sick again, and I don't want you to be sad, and I don't want you to be not healthy, and yeah. And whenever he says stuff like that, it makes me kind of sad, but a good sad, like a motivating sad. Instead of being like, oh man, I'm letting him down, it'd be like, okay, let's not do this so I won't get in the cycle again, so I won't be upsetting him more. Sure, I may not like how I feel right now, but if I can make certain other important people happy in my life, that will make me happier overall. And certain people I trust to stay are saying things that I need to quit doing, but not in a controlling way. I hope this is making sense so far. And then again, I will watch my old videos of when I was struggling, and that makes me be like, hey, stop it. You gotta not go back into this. Please. Has my body dysmorphic disorder gotten any better since I started recovery a little over a year ago? I think so. I just don't really look in the mirror anymore, and I go with how I feel inside, and I go off of what my boyfriend thinks of how I look. I know that is not the best strategy in some people's world because, again, you never know if the boyfriend's gonna stay around or not. But he sees my body as it is. I don't. I don't see my body as it is. So, I get his opinion, and then sometimes I'll get my close online friends' opinions, and I'll go from there. But most of the time I don't look in the mirror, and I try on all of my jeans like once a month or so, and any that I don't fit in, I give away like as soon as I can, because I know that if I keep them around and if I ever get dis disappointed, that's the word. If I ever get disappointed that I can't fit in those jeans, I know that I will probably go back into the cycle, and then I'll have to fight even harder to get back out of it. Is it hard working in fast food? Kinda. I mean, I get really grossed out at food anyway, and especially whenever I go around and pick up their dirty dishes and there's still like a bowl of soup in the soup bowl, and I have to pour it out of the trash can, or someone leaves their baguette on the plate half eaten, and ugh, it's just really gross. So I make all the disgusting faces when I pick up the dishes, and then I go back to the back and I wipe my hands. The other part of that question was, is it hard working in fast food, especially one that has nutritional information everywhere? Yes and no. Like, I normally don't even look at the menu anymore. Since I've started cashiering, I just see what's on the menu on the screen, and it doesn't tell me anything but what's on it and how much it cost. So that has really helped me. Whenever I first started working there, I was like, oh, cool, let's memorize everything about the menu, even the calories and how much nutrition and everything. Let's see what I can eat that's the lowest. And then as I've been working there and I've been trying to intuitively eat, which is something I've been watching a lot on YouTube, which is basically where you listen to your body, and if it says it's hungry and you have a craving, you eat the craving. But you listen to whenever your body is full, and then you stop eating until your body says it's hungry again. Any advice for a pregnant lady with an eating disorder who has gained 50 pounds in the last 7 months? Yes. Not personal experience or personal advice, but you should definitely think of the baby and let's see. You should think of the baby and think of it growing healthy and happy inside of you, and just remember that you won't be pregnant forever, and after the baby comes out you'll probably lose most of the weight off. I think that's it for today, because this is a pretty long video already. Okay, bye guys.